Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 6 to 10 of chapter 3. Karmendriyani sanyamya,
Karmendriyani sanyamya,
ya aste manasa smaran,
ya aste manasa smaran,
indriyartan vimudhatma,
indriyartan vimudhatma,
mithyachara sa uchyate,
mithyachara sa uchyate,
yastvindriyani manasa,
yastvindriyani manasa,
niyamyarabhaterjuna,
niyamyarabhaterjuna,
karmendriyai karmayogam,
Karmendriyai karmayogam,
asakta savishishyate,
asakta savishishyate,
niyatam kuru karmatvam,
niyatam kuru karmatvam,
karmajyayo hyakarmanaha,
karmajayo hyakarmanaha,
sharirayatra pichate,
sharirayatra pichate,
na prasidhyeda karmanaha,
na prasidhyeda karmanaha,
yajñarthat karmanonyatra,
यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र
lokoyam karma bandhanaha,
लोकोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः
tadartham karma kaunteya,
तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय
mukta sangha samachara,
मुक्तसङ्गसमाचर सक्तसङ्गः समाचर
सह यज्ञाः प्रजाः सृष्ट्वा
सह यज्ञा प्रजा सृष्ट्वा
पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः
पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः
अनेन प्रसविष्यद्वम्
अनेन प्रसविष्यद्वम्
येषवोऽस्त्विष्टकामधुक्
येषवोऽस्त्विष्टकामधुक्
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So in the last few sessions, we have been seeing the potential of the karma indriyas which you have been bestowed with. It is very interesting when you actually make a study of yourself. Here we are talking about the physical body. The karma indriyas, the jnana indriyas, they are all parts of the physical body. As of now, we'll stick to this alone. So when you make a study of yourself, you will find that just this physical body, which you may consider it as, an ordinary object, has so much of potential. See, your soul is expressing itself through this physical body. Unfortunately, you have got disconnected from your soul and you're thinking you are this body. But actually, you are not this body. The body is a vehicle or a tool which has been given to you. And this instrument called the body has very many parts. All of that put together is the very instrument with which the soul is experiencing life. See, an ordinary person understands this truth at the point of death. See, what is death? Everybody is so scared of death. You are afraid of death till one moment before the process of death happens. But when the actual process of death happens, you will have no fear. Why are we saying this? I want you to focus and understand this carefully, because once you understand and genuinely absorb this idea, it's not an idea, this is a fact of life. Once you understand and absorb this fact, and then when you do the sadhana, it's a question of time, you will be able to conquer this fear of death. When you are functioning today in life, you are a combination of the soul and the matter layers. I am leaving out the mind, which consists of emotions, and the thoughts, the intellect, which consists of thoughts and all that. For this principle to be easily understood, I am taking the body as the symbol of the material layers, and you have the soul. Now the combination is you, the individual. Now today when you are functioning in life, your identification is with the body. You consider yourself as this physical body. You cannot imagine an existence without this physical body. When the yogis go into deep meditation, they detach their consciousness from this physical body and they understand what the real truth of life is. So when the yogis come and expound the truth, the common person is unable to understand that. Why? Because an ordinary person is completely rooted in the body and he or she thinks that this body is only me. Now, what is this process of death? When the soul leaves this physical body, that process is called death. Later on, the soul is born in another physical body. We are not getting into that, the rebirth and all that as of now. I am only talking of this process of what in common parlance is called as death. Now, when the soul is about to leave the body, the consciousness in a flash shifts from the physical body to the soul. So when that process actually starts happening, how will you feel? How will a person feel? That person will feel that he is actually leaving the body. He becomes one with the soul at the time of death. Since the identification has shifted to the soul, there will be no fear. One moment before that, when the identification was with the physical body, that person would have feared. Oh, I have to leave everything and go. What will happen to me in death? Because it's totally dark. But when the actual process happens, the consciousness, the identification shifts from the physical body to the soul. And then you as the soul start leaving the physical body. Which means even as you are dropping the body, you are actually present in the form of the soul. So there will be no fear because you are present. What is the fear of death? The fear of death is that I will get destroyed. I will cease to exist. And when you're saying I will cease to exist, that statement of fear is coming from the total identification with the physical body. But at the time of death, when the process of death happens, you will immediately see yourself as a soul, and that is when you can leave the physical body. So there will be no fear. There will be no fear the moment the process of leaving the body starts. Till that moment, the fear will be there. So what do we do in the yogic approach? While we are alive, we do the sadhana on a daily basis. Apart from all the achievements of the world, we also do the higher sadhana and slowly realize this truth that I am not this physical body, experientially. See, it is not to be understood merely intellectually and you write an essay about it and you submit it to me and you ask me, sir, will you give me good marks? What have you written that I am not the physical body, why and all that? I can give you good marks if you want, but I am not talking of that kind of knowledge. Here we are talking about the experiential knowledge. That is what is called as wisdom. So when the process of death happens, there is actually no fear because you are continuing to exist. Actually, there is nothing called death. The real death happens only at the time of self-realization, where the ego dies. That is only the real death. Till then, you are leaving this body and you pick up another body. Again, the attachment and identification comes fully with the physical body. Either you do sadhana and realize this truth once, once and for all, or birth after birth, at the time of death, this truth will be learnt by you. Again, the Maya will cover, the ignorance will cover according to your karmas. You will again have to take a birth. That process will go on. See, this is there is a reason why I am covering this at this point, because when we talk of karma yoga, it is said that karma yoga will make a person fearless. How will karma yoga make a person fearless? It is also said a fearless person can do karma yoga. The converse is also true. So, on one hand, if you practice karma yoga, you will start becoming fearless. As you become more fearless, you will be able to do karma yoga better. They are like two pedals of a wheel. They complement each other. The theorem is also true, the converse is also true. How is it that karma yoga removes all fears? See, all forms of fears actually stem from one basic fear, and that is the fear of death. If you are able to remove that root, all the other fears, the branches, will all disappear. So how is it that a karma yogi becomes fearless? It is because of this understanding. And the more you lose that fear, you will be able to see the power, the beauty of the instrument which has been given to you. It is something like this. Supposing you buy a very costly car, let us say, way beyond your budget. You put a big loan and all that and you buy. That is not within your financial status at all, but because of your extreme craving, somehow you buy that car. Now, every time you drive the car, there will be so much of fear. Why? Because fear of losing it. And when there is that fear of losing, you will not enjoy the car. You will not be able to enjoy the drive. I have seen many people who take loans beyond their capacity and procure objects like car, or it could be a simple thing like a sofa set at home, and then they are in constant stress, to maintain it. That fear factor is there. They are not able to freely enjoy. So that fear comes because of the attachment, the identification. Now, instead of the car or other objects, now place your own body. So when there is the fear of losing, which is the body, which is what you call as death. The losing the physical body is what is death. Now there is a fear because of the identification. Now when there is a fear, you will not be able to use the physical body in a free way and enjoy. You will not be able to do karma yoga. These points will be coming later on. How the practice of karma yoga removes all the negative emotions. Fear is one among the many negative emotions which you may have. Incidentally, I am covering this because there is one sadhak who has sent a question about asking about death and the fear of death. What he has said in that, what is mentioned in that question is that he found that after this COVID period, that is when the lockdowns and all that was there, he used to keep watching the news almost throughout the day when the lockdowns were there. Now that whole thing put together has caused a deep, deep fear within him. And he saw a few people die. Now with all that, actually after that only he started watching these discourses, he says, and this is what really, really helped him when he's doing the Yoga Sankirtan sadhana. But he says that fear of death is not going away. Even the small things, a small thing happens, immediately the heart palpitations are starting. The anxiety comes. So he has asked me, how do I overcome this? Now, this is the answer. It is not only for him, but for everyone, because everyone has this fear. It may be less or more, and as you advance in your physical age, the fear becomes more prominent. Sometimes when an endemic or a pandemic or some other traumatic incident happens in the world, then that triggers this fear which is there within everyone. So a yogi does not run away from this fear. Rather, what a yogi does is through the meditation, through the higher sadhana, he actually explores. He goes deep within his own mind and pulls out this fear and removes that. Completely releases that fear. How does he release the fear? By learning to disassociate his consciousness from this physical body. You cannot artificially do it. I'm only mentioning it to you. I'm putting those seeds in you. So as you begin to do your sadhana from now on, it will keep working in the background. And when you advance, when more purification happens in the advanced empowerment courses, when more energy is given, then when you're prepared, you will be able to detach the consciousness, and that is when the real freedom comes. Till then, there's so much of anxiety, so much of fear is there. But just understanding this, reflecting on this, and doing your sadhana on a daily basis, that itself will give you such a big relief. See, when you start absorbing this energy that I am not merely this physical body, I am something much more than that. It immediately puts you in a very relaxed frame of mind. Because this root fear gets attacked, that starts going away. So remember, always fear is all about losing something. A person who fears defamation, he is afraid that he'll lose his name. A person who is attached to wealth is afraid that he'll lose his wealth. Similarly, you've identified yourself with the physical body so much, so there is a fear that you lose this physical body. So karma yoga is acting in such a way that you create tremendous positive energy within yourself. First is positive energy in the relative sense, and then generating tremendous divine energy. That is real karma yoga. When can you generate that divine energy? Only when your focus starts shifting from these material layers to that infinite supreme power, that Shakti. Any name you give, it does not matter. God. In different religions, they have called that formless supreme power with different names. What is there in these names? The infinite is one only. So when you start identifying with that, then you're in a position to practice the higher karma yoga. So these karmendriyas, the karma indriyas, are a part of your physical body. And when you objectively start looking at your own physical body without that attachment, that is when you realize how powerful this instrument is which has been given to you. So using that, you can do so much. That's what we have been seeing in the last few sessions. First is abhivyakti, expressing what your skills are, what your talents are. Then sadh, achievement, fixing goals and manifesting your goals. Yoga danam means contributing to the society. You can give only what you have. Remember this. You cannot give something which you don't have. Unfortunately, today spirituality is understood in a very negative sense. People think you have to be poor. First, at the financial level, if you want to be spiritual, you have to be poor. Then at the physical level, I know many people who think that if you have to be spiritual, you need to be unhealthy. Oh, the karmas are getting exhausted. Some philosophy they give. You will have to be always very sorrowful. That is understood as spirituality today. Very serious. In other words, to sum it up, people think that if the more the suffering, the more you're growing spiritually. That is not true. If you are suffering, it means you're not in a state of peace and bliss. Then what will you be giving to others? That yoga danam. You will be transferring your stress, your sorrow, whatever energy, the negative energy which you have, to others also. So that is why what these great masters are saying is that Karma Yoga has these two components. One is taking care of yourself and then contributing to the world. So the first two aspects, Abhivyakti, which is manifesting your skills and talents, and Sadh, achieving in the world, they are nothing but taking care of yourself. That is very important. So on one hand, you take care of yourself. On the other hand, you do yoga dhanam, which is contributing, repaying back. If you don't take care of yourself, you will not be in a position to do seva, service. That is why, you see, our ancient yogis brought in the system of yoga asanas and all that. Why? To take care of the physical body. Very many practices they have given to first take care of oneself. And parallelly, they are also asking you to do yoga dhanam, seva. How can I be useful to others? It first starts with your own immediate family. Then only it can go beyond that. No point in talking about, serving the world and all that, and you're neglecting your own duties in your own family, Many people do that. In the name of social service, they actually escape from their immediate duties. That is all not true seva. If you want to become a yogi, if you want to evolve spiritually, this is the way. Take care of yourself and be useful to the society. In the management jargon, they call it as win-win philosophy. I also win, you also win. We always feel that seva means, service means I should suffer and I should serve others. If you are suffering, you will not be in a position to serve others. Supposing, let us say, you want to go and feed the poor people. Now, if you yourself are poor, how can you feed the poor people? If you want to make others happy, if you are highly sorrowful, how can you make others happy? That is why our yogis said, you have to lead a complete life. See, karma yoga is nothing but leading a complete life. Now the question which will come to your mind is that if I take care of myself, isn't that selfishness? I'll clear that misconception. Anyway, we are going to have this empowerment program on finding rhythm in life this year. It's in November end. I think it's on November 27th to December 27th or something. It will go for 22 days, apart from the Sundays. Now, in that program, I'll be covering how to lead a complete life. Many empowerments will be given in each and every aspect of life so that your whole life will get enriched. One of the blocks which you will have is that, see, the moment we talk of leading a complete life, taking care of oneself, you confuse it with selfishness. I will be giving special healing energy during that course to root out these blocks from within the deeper layers of the mind. But from now itself, when you start thinking of those lines, when you start absorbing the wisdom which is being given, that will prepare you. It will prepare you much better to receive that the blast of higher energy which is going to be given. So, selfishness means wanting something for oneself at the cost of another person. If you say, I want this in life, but in the process I'm going to hurt somebody else. I'm going to, at the cost of another person means I'm going to take away everything from the other person and then I'm going to achieve. That is selfishness. You should first learn to differentiate between selfishness and self-care, taking care of yourself. Taking care of yourself is an essential aspect of spiritual growth. See, supposing you're in a relationship and your partner is too dominating, that he or she is very abusive and all that. Now, you're now learning this wisdom. So you'll be learning about unconditional love, forgiveness. So you will practice all that, but you will find that all that will not work unless you practice self-care along with that. See, in these Sunday discourses, for anyone who is attending this every Sunday without fail, you will be able to see that I am covering all the aspects of this wisdom. So when you absorb each and every aspect and when you practice it in totality, you will get the real benefits. If you just pick up one thing and when you practice without any reference to what the real principles are, then you may not get the real benefit. So a person is very rude to you and you're highly disturbed. Now how will you be able to function? So what does spirituality say? What do these yogis say? Do the sadhana, become very strong, and abhivyaktihi, express yourself. Speak up for yourself. Tell the other person this is not acceptable. I am not saying you should go and fight with the other person. See, expressing yourself is not fighting with others. Again there, people get confused. And that person has to understand. It is a question of time only if you are very clear and firm. But you don't have the courage to face the situation. So what you do is, you try to cover it up and you say, okay, I'll do sadhana, I'll practice unconditional. How will you be able to practice unconditional love when you are affected by the other person's behavior? Tell me. First you need to solve that, no? So on one hand you do the sadhana, release all the affectations and stress. On the other hand, you should take corrective measures there. That is what is karma yoga. It is an essential aspect. So abhivyakti means expressing yourself in properly, in a positive way. So if you don't do that, then that is spiritual tamas. It is tamas manifesting in that area. You will find that you will be doing sadhana, so-called sadhana, I am putting it in quotes on one side, but the problems will continue to remain. That is no use. So I am giving you various examples because these are all the common blocks which I am finding which many sadhaks are having. Let's say you are addicted to smoking or drinking. Now you should do sadhana on one hand, gain the inner strength, and then express yourself positively there by developing the strength and giving up what is not good for you, what is harmful to you. If you don't do that and you are claiming I am doing sadhana, there is no meaning. That application should go along with your sadhana. Your sadhana actually gives you the strength, gives you the clarity to face the challenges of life. So karma yoga is not escapism. Please understand this. Spirituality is not about suffering. It is about removing your suffering. That is why two purposes, Abhivyaktihi and Sadh, have been devoted for the worldly achievement. Then Yoga Dhanam, that runs parallelly. It's not, you can't say first I will take care of myself fully, then I will serve. That will never happen. It will take many years. So side by side you should do both. Just as you focus on your physical body, you take care of your physical body. You should take care of your mind. You should take care of your finances. You should take care of your career. You should take care of your relationships. Win-win. It's a nice coinage, in the management circles. They talk about win-win. You also benefit, the other person also should benefit. You, grow, the other person also grows. You're happy, the other person also is happy. You contribute whatever you can to enhance the other person's happiness. So both these have to go parallelly. So the win-win philosophy which they are talking about in management is nothing but a fundamental spiritual principle only. Our yogis have discovered this long back. Because what they found is, when you are weak, you are not in a position to do seva, to contribute. So you become strong in all the fronts, health-wise, wealth-wise, career-wise, relationship, in every aspect. And you also contribute. And then comes the fourth one, which is Adhyatma Unnati. Only if you do these, if you take care of these, you will be in a position to grow more and more spiritually. That is why in the Upanishads it is said, the truth is not for weak people. The truth is only for the strong. What strength are they talking about? This is the strength. When you take care of yourself, you become very strong. When you do yoga dhanam, you contribute, you repay for whatever you have received. You knock off all the karmas. These two things will be very conducive for you to do the deeper meditations and achieve Adhyatma Unnati, which is that inner elevation, inner growth. Unnati means growing, improvement. Till you get to that stage where you merge with the infinite. The same principles are applicable. So be very, very clear about this. Selfishness is different from taking care of yourself. If you can't love yourself, you cannot love anyone else. That is why, if even in the Bible, Jesus Christ, what did he say? Love thy neighbor like thyself. Which means first you love yourself. Only then you can love your neighbor. You love your neighbor as you are loving yourself. See, any master you take, they have essentially given the same truths only. The problem is, we have our own concepts of what spirituality is. So I want you to really think about this and remove these concepts. You start that process now itself. This is a preparation. When we are going to have that empowerment program, that the Finding Rhythm in Life, that is about creating positive energy and the divine energy in each and every aspect of your life. Within yourself and in every area of your life outside. So already if you work on these things, and to a certain extent when your blocks are removed, it will make it very easy for me to work on the deeper levels and easily make you absorb the higher Shakti, higher healing energy. So, when we talk of Karma Yoga, karma on one hand means action, karma on the other hand means reaction also. Now we will go a little more deeper. Karma is also referring to those impressions which are created in the deeper layers of your personality when you react negatively in life. They are called psychic impressions. What do we mean by psychic impressions? Now let us say a person comes and insults you. Now that person goes away. But you get very much affected by the insult. Now if you don't release it, if you don't do sadhana and release it, now what will happen is, after a while, that will go to the next layer of the mind. And then it will go into the next layer. It will go to the deepest layer of your personality and it will get stored as a seed, as an impression, as a psychic impression, and that is called a karma. So when the karma is called action, karma is called reaction also. So in this action-reaction cycle, what is created is a psychic impression, and that psychic impression is also called karma. I have told you, Sanskritam language is a multi-dimensional language. So one word can mean so many things. The word karma is actually a very deep word. It's starting from the outermost action to the innermost seed of action. Everything is nothing but karma. Now I gave you this example of one incident. Now if you take your life, thousands and thousands of such incidents have happened. Somebody may insult you, you may face some failure in some area of your life, some traumatic incident may have happened. So many small things. Everything, there is an action, there is a reaction, and in that cycle you create an impression, and without your knowledge, these impressions get stored in the deeper layers of your personality. The seeds, they are the seeds called karmas. They say, according to your karmas, you take your next birth. There is a very limited understanding. Most people think that this birth, that is, you have done karmas in the past birth, accordingly this birth has been given to you. Now you will exhaust all those, and in next birth again you will do karmas. They have very strange concepts. These are all very limited understanding. Karma means this action, reaction, and the impressions which are formed because of this cycle. As when other contexts come, I will give you some more dimensions of karma also. It will be very useful. We will go step by step. So karma yoga is, in the real sense of the term, it is removing these psychic impressions which have been created. Yoga means union, uniting with the infinite. How to unite with the infinite and remove all the karmas, the impressions from within the deeper layers. As I told you, it is not only the past birth. This minute backwards, everything which you have done is nothing but karmas only. The word karma is a powerful word which actually denotes everything which is happening in your life. And the phrase karma yoga is such a powerful phrase which denotes all attempts to remove these karmas. If you want to come out of this karmic cycle, As long as you are caught up with the finite, it is not possible. The only way is to unite with the infinite and start taking the energy from the infinite, the healing energy. That is when these karmas can be burnt. What does a guru do? A guru helps you in this process. What are we doing every Sunday? The healing Shakti is being provided, the wisdom is being given so that you can go out and practice. And when you practice, it is called Karma Yoga. See, when you are learning, it is Jnana Yoga. When you are having that right bhavana, it is Bhakti Yoga. And with the right understanding and bhavana, when you go and put it into action, which is what is a practice of this wisdom, it is Karma Yoga. Essentially, all these yogas are one and the same thing. At different levels, we are giving different names, that's all. But what are we trying to do? To wipe off to all the karmas, to burn away all the impressions. Because when you have a lot of impressions within you, they are all like scars. They will not allow you to be peaceful and happy. So when he says, undertakes karma yoga with the organs of action, engages the karma indriyas to do karma yoga, it means he is asking you to do these 4 types of activities which we saw, no? The abhivyaktihi, sadh, yogadanam and adhyatma unnati. By connecting to the infinite, everything else is added on, Karma yoga means connecting with infinite, taking the help of a guru. You may ask me, sir, what about guru? That is also coming. In the next chapter, he'll be saying, the wise people will come and instruct you. So all that is included. But the principle is this only. You derive the strength from the infinite and you burn up all the karmas within you. Every Sunday, we are doing it, in a small way. Every day when you're doing your sadhana, you're doing it again in a small way. When you attend an empowerment course, it is done with more intensity. But the principle is one and the same only. So there are 3 types of karmas. See, when we talk of karma yoga, you need to understand that there are 3 types of karmas. The first type of karmas, they are called tamasic karmas. The second type are called rajasic karmas. And the third type are called sattvic karmas. The tamas, rajas and sattva, I've already explained in different contexts. Here, with respect to karmas, I'm giving you this explanation because it will be so useful in understanding the coming verses of this particular chapter. So whenever you have these impressions of laziness, impressions of being stubborn, see, when you have impressions, that will manifest as certain kinds of beliefs, thoughts and emotions. Let us say a person has an impression of laziness, a seed of laziness. Now he will believe that laziness is the correct way of life. Then he will have thoughts of laziness and he will emotionally relate to only laziness, and his actions also will be very lazy. That cycle will happen and he will strengthen the seed more. Similarly, stubbornness also is considered to be tamas at the intellectual level. So if you have the seed of stubbornness, then the thoughts of stubbornness will come, the belief, thoughts, emotions, and you will be very stubborn in life. You will strengthen that seed. So these are all the tamasic karmas, where when you have the seed of escapism, you want to run away from everything, from all the challenges. That will come out as a thought, as thoughts, emotions, and finally you will actually be an escapist in life. Many people use spirituality to escape from life. I want to tell you one thing. Spirituality is not talking about escaping from life. true spirituality will help you to face life. It is sad to see how this misunderstanding has come about. It is not now. 5,000 years back when the Bhagavad Gita was given, the Bhagavad Gita was given only for that purpose, because Arjuna was thinking that escaping from his duty will make him very noble and spiritual. And Krishna had to give the right concept. So right from those days, this misconception was always there. So the first type of karmas are tamasic karmas. Then what are these rajasic karmas? Rajasic karmas are those impressions which keep on agitating your mind, the tendency to be selfish. That is a part of Rajas. The tendency to be very restless. That is a part of Rajas. You can give your own examples and see. Wherever there is restlessness, overactivity. Overactivity means activity to the point of fault, where it causes a lot of disturbance. That is all Rajas. So the Rajasic karmas give rise to Rajasic thoughts, Rajasic emotions and Rajasic actions. So those are the second type of karmas. Whenever you want to impress others, it's stemming from Rajasic karmas, those thoughts, those desires. When you want to show off things to others, stemming from Rajasic karmas. I am only giving you various examples, Then, what about Sattvic karmas? Sattvic karmas are good karmas, but good only from a relative level. It is still not the infinite, but good things like, for example, doing charity. That is also a karma only. That is better than Rajasic and Tamasic, but it is not the highest. Because still a little bit of ego is there. I am the giver. Even when you say, oh, I am the devotee of God, that I is there a little bit. It is a sattvic, what we call as a sattvic ego or sattvic karmas. When you say, I am studying the scriptures, little bit that I is there. I am doing the Yoga Sankirtan Sadhana. Oh, I have attended 3 empowerments. It's no doubt a good thing, but the karmas are still functioning. Those are the sattvic karmas. So they will give rise to sattvic thoughts, sattvic emotions and sattvic actions. So it's very good to be sattvic in order to overcome the tamas and rajas. But ultimately, you need to go beyond sattva. You have to reach a state of trans sattva, which is what is called as the infinite state of realization. Guna atita. Gunatita means transcending all these 3 gunas. So now that I have explained the 4 purposes of the karma indriya, it will be very easy for you to understand what karma yoga is, how these 4 purposes actually help you in overcoming these 3 types of karmas. When you are doing this sadhana of abhivyaktihi, expressing your talents and skills. See, when I say you have to express your talents and skills, it also means you will have to work hard and keep on improving your talents and skills also. That is included in that. Okay. So, abhivyaktihi, and second thing is sadh. If you want to achieve something in life, you will have to act. You will have to be dynamic. Now, when you practice these 2 principles, when you fulfill those 2 purposes using the karma indriyas, that will help you to overcome the tamasic karmas. Because you're getting into action, whether it is expressing or whether it is achievement, It is only your efforts, which you're putting. That tendency to put effort alone will help you to come out of tamas. Tamas means you don't want to put any effort. See, a tamasic person's thinking is very interesting. I don't want to put any effort. Somehow some miracle should happen, but I want all the good things in life. That is a highly tamasic approach. Many people come to spirituality and approach spirituality in a tamasic way. Like some people ask me, sir, if I just relax and the night, if I just play the yoga sankirtan and I go, they don't use the word sleep. Instead of using the word sleep, they're using the word relaxation. Because why do you need to choose night time? That itself shows it's a very lazy attitude. That's why in one of the yoga sankirtan or materials I said, preferably in the early hours of the morning, because that requires a little bit of effort, no? So they asked me, sir, if I just play the yoga sankirtan and when I relax, now I don't need to do anything, isn't it? Anything else, isn't it? Everything will come to me in my life automatically. That's a very tamasic attitude. The yoga sankirtan helps you in overcoming this lazy attitude also. So don't approach spirituality with a tamasic attitude. So abhivyaktihi and sad, that is expressing yourself and achieving whatever you have to achieve in the world, these two things will help you overcome your tamas and burn up all the tamasic karmas. Very, very important. So spirituality is not for making you more lazy. See, a tamasic person, when he or she looks at a saint, especially in the movies and all they portray, a yogi is sitting and he is always in meditation like this. So when a tamasic person sees that, he understands it in a way, in a tamasic way. Here is a beautiful life. You don't need to do anything. Just simply sit and the whole world will be at your feet. Don't get into that trap. Be prepared to put in all your effort. Be prepared to work if you want to get anything. That is called dynamism. It is dynamism which will help you overcome your tamasic karmas. Abhivyaktihi and sad put together actually makes you very, very dynamic in life. When you want to achieve something, you should do the right actions, the karmas. See, I told you, karma means action also. That is the first meaning of karma. If you want wealth, work for it. If you want a good career, work for it. In the Finding Rhythm in Life program, the empowerment program, many guidelines will be given on each of these aspects. How do you approach wealth? How do you attract more wealth? How do you improve your relationships? How do you become successful in your career? A few important foundational principles will be given in all the 12 aspects of life. So when you learn them, you should practice them. You should overcome your tamas. See, at every point of time, you should be very alert and you should never ever slip into tamas. Remember this. A guru can help only a person who overcomes tamas. When a tamasic person comes to a guru, he cannot do anything. That also we'll be seeing in the same chapter only. He'll be saying, what can you do when tamas manifests? You just have to wait only till the person puts effort. Supposing you have a weakness, let's say you're addicted to smoking or drinking. Now a guru cannot help you if you're not willing to give it up. You may say, oh, Gurudev, no, please help me. And are you first willing to help yourself? If you're not willing to help yourself, what can a guru do? Even God cannot help. There is a beautiful saying, no, God helps those who help themselves. Beautiful saying by some thinker. So the first kind of karmas which you need to overcome, that is the tamasic karmas, the abhivyakti and sad help you in that. Then the second kind of karmas, the rajasic karmas, that desire to show off, the desire for name and fame, the desire to be selfish. All these are rajasic karmas. A rajasic person will always want to show off in anything. Even if he comes and learns a little. See, like for example, you are attending every Sunday. Few principles you learn, immediately you go and you want to show off, you tell others just to impress them. If that is the motive, then that becomes a rajasic expression. So how do you overcome the rajasic karmas? That is where the third purpose, yoga dhanam, by doing seva, service. Yoga dhanam means contributing. You come out of these selfish thoughts. You begin to realize that this world has plenty for everyone. Let me also be happy. Let the other person also be happy. You become accommodative. When you become accommodative, your love starts expanding. When it becomes infinite, it becomes unconditional love. That is what every yogi has, So the practice of yoga dhanam actually helps in burning up the rajasic karmas. So when you act, when you overcome the tamasic tendencies, when you express your unique talents, when you start achieving things in life, then there will be a tendency to become very selfish and self-centered. I am not bothered about anybody else. If I am happy, that's it, over. That kind of an attitude will set in naturally. Now when that sets in, these great masters are saying, practice yoga dhanam. It is your bounden duty to contribute, because without taking, you couldn't have achieved anything. Can you achieve everything by yourself? It's not possible. Thousands and thousands of people have contributed for any kind of achievement which we do, Even the fact that this person is sitting and speaking to you right now, how many people have contributed? Somebody taught the language, somebody discovered the language, somebody then taught it. The parents took care of this person when he was a baby. If I were to start listing, that list will be endless. Similarly, if you are listening and understanding and benefiting, it's just not you. So much has happened in your life right from your birth. So many people have given you, have helped you. And you have taken all that, and today you're achieving a few things. So when the moment you recognize that, you get into the spirit of yoga dhanam. And the more you practice yoga dhanam along with your achievements in life, that is when you burn up the rajasic karmas. Then, how do you remove the sattvic karmas? That is where the fourth aspect comes, Adhyatma Unnati. Yes, you do the yoga dhanam, you serve. Again the ego will come and take over and you may get into the position of a giver. I am giving, I am serving, I am helping. These kinds of thoughts may come. Now how do you break that? He says, you're not doing anything. Adhyatma Unnati. Everything is done only for the spiritual evolution and merging with the infinite. Without that infinite power, nothing can happen here. Avanindri oru anuvum asayadu, said the Siddhar. Without that supreme power, not even an atom will be able to vibrate. So the moment you realize the beauty and grandeur of the infinite, that's what is Adhyatma Unnati. By expanding one's consciousness, you will go beyond these concepts of taking, giving and all that. Who am I to take or who am I to give? It is all that infinite power. It is when you start absorbing this highest principle that you are getting into the true spirit of Karma Yoga. Till then, it is a relative practice of Karma Yoga. But when you get into that principle of Adhyatma Unnati, you start evolving directly. It is a direct path to God, to the infinite. But you can't do that without following the first three. So when he says karmendriyahi karma yogam, means undertakes the karma yoga with the organs of action. What does he mean? He means employing the organs of action to do karma yoga and burn up these three types of karmas. The tamasic karmas, the rajasic karmas and the sattvic karmas. So first you need to remove the tamas within you, and then you need to remove the rajas, and then you need to go beyond sattva. You have to become gunatita, beyond all the gunas. That state is called gunatita. Guna atita means transcending the three gunas. So where is this and where is the concept which people are having? Even people who have gained this so-called gained this wisdom and all that, they just use the word karma yoga in a very loose way, do perform karma yoga, they say. The real yajna, see, yajna means what? You have a havan and you light a fire and you pour the ahuti. So all this process is done, no? Now the real yajna is by using this fire of wisdom, the fire of karma yoga, to burn up all your ignorance, your own ignorance, your own karmas. The three types of karmas, the tamasic karmas, the rajasic karmas and the sattvic karmas, these impressions, they are the ahuti, the offerings. And when they get burnt up with the light of this wisdom, that is when you're performing true yajna. The external ritual of yajna is meant to remind you of this internal sadhana. Unfortunately today people have forgotten the real significance of what these rituals are. They are just stuck with the rituals, but they never get to the sadhana part. In the yogic approach, this is a great opportunity for you to learn what true sadhana is and start applying that in your life. So, I'll give you a small homework. Week after week, some homework or other I'm giving, no? Some people, they say, Sir, in the school, we have finished all this, the schooling and all that. We thought now we can relax in life. So we came for these Sunday sessions, thinking, you can just go and happily relax. Here also you're giving homework, and that too, this homework is more difficult than what we did in school. That's what I'm saying, no? It's to overcome the tamas only I'm giving these exercises. So what is the homework? You just, aram se think about yourself and divide, your thoughts, emotions and actions into three types: the tamasic, rajasic and sattvic, in a general way. See, what is tamas, how all it manifests, what is rajas, how all it will manifest. Similarly, sattva, that we'll be seeing later, but as and when the context comes, I am giving you one aspect so that it becomes easy for you. So what I want you to do is, when you find a tamasic tendency, let's say you're lazy or you're stubborn or you don't want to put an effort, you want to escape and all that, immediately just try to visualize. I'll during today's nididhyasana, we'll initiate this process a little bit, but I want you to just do this homework that is just related to those impressions within you. Just become aware of them. Similarly, the rajasic actions, thoughts, emotions, just related to the seed, the impressions from where all those are coming. Similarly, the sattva. Now, when you begin to relate the thoughts, emotions, actions, the beliefs, everything to the seed, now you will become very, very objective. Objective about what is happening within you. Remember, don't get involved and, oh, I have these tamasic tendency, oh, I have these rajasic, and you get further worked up. That's not the idea. This is just like a game, You just see the whole picture from the viewpoint of karmas. Now, why I'm telling you this is, if you do this simple homework, what will happen is, when you do your yoga sankirtan sadhana, then see, daily sadhana is yoga sankirtan and the other materials which have been given. Weekly sadhana is the Sunday discourses which you're watching. And then you have every now and then the empowerment courses happening. They are like we can say they are periodic sadhana. Now, all these sadhanas will start helping you in terms of burning up your karmas. You just have to become aware. I'm only increasing your awareness. Once you become aware, the intention will come automatically. And when the intention is there, you will start seeking and the higher Shakti will start flowing in that direction. Okay, so you do this small homework. It will help you so much to grow as a sadhak. Okay, so now we'll do the nididhyasana, the meditation. Sit in a relaxed way. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I am going into a state of deep relaxation. Feel the divine energy. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper into myself. Beyond my physical body, beyond my emotions, beyond my thoughts, lies my true essential self, which is infinite. From this moment onwards, I choose to do the sacred sadhana of Karma Yoga to burn up all my karmas, psychic impressions. My goal is to go beyond these three gunas, tamas, rajas and sattva, and reach the infinite state of gunatita, transcending all the gunas. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Slowly come back. Wriggle your fingers, your toes, rub your palms together to create a warmth. Cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, cheeks, forehead, top of the head, back of the head and neck. Slowly open your eyes. welcome back. So we had a very powerful and energizing session today. You're all so lucky because through this yogic approach, the real wisdom is being given to you in its full depth, So you should absorb them and make your lives wonderful. Okay. So one small announcement regarding the 22-day empowerment program on finding rhythm in life. It will be starting on the 27th of November, then going for almost a month. In between the Sundays alone, there will be a rest day. But for you all, rest day means watching our regular Sunday sessions. So they'll be putting up the details, we'll be receiving all that, and the registration also will start soon. What is very important is right from now itself, be very regular in your daily sadhana. And when every Sunday I'm preparing you for that empowerment. So absorb this fully, don't miss anything. And when you register for that program, do it consciously with that commitment, with that desire to live a full life, to get all the higher benefits. When you seek, automatically the grace of the holy Siddhas will start flowing. The Guru Shakti will start flowing. And the moment you register, it means you're committing. From that minute, the special healing also will start. I'll be sitting every day and giving healing to all the participants. So from now itself, that when you start receiving that healing Shakti, it will fine-tune you. Many blocks and all will be removed. It will make it very easy for you to attend the course and get the higher benefits, the deeper benefits. Okay? And you read the brochure material and all that. Whatever doubts you have, you can, clarifications, you can put them either in the YouTube section or you can email. So all those will be covered, will be answered. Okay? So thank you very much. I'll see you in the next session. Hari Om.